said it was impossible. They said,
you can't put together the most elite team of comic book reviewers on the planet and do, a podcast or something like that?
Despite all that, today we can proudly announce... Yeah, they were right. We couldn't do it. So instead, we brought you the most vile, ignorant, unprofessional group of comic book enthusiasts we could find. This is Panel to Panel, the Game Rage Magazine comic podcast.
There. Anyways, my name is Josh. Welcome to Panel. I'm here today with good buddy Adam.
Good buddy Adam. Yes, greetings. Hello, shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Guten Tag. All that shit.
Bonjour.
I don't know any other.
Yeah. But today we're going to be talking about the good old boy Immortal Hulk, number 8.
Just got out of a fight with the current within this timeline or
Avengers,
this continuity, this iteration of the Hulk, which is pretty fucking sweet, dude. To know that the Hulk is like formidable enough to fight all of them.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking sweet, dude. Like
it is, and they literally had to harness the power of the sun to fucking
Sunny
kill him.
D.
Like,
they had to use Sunny D to obliterate his ass.
Basically.
Now he's in this shadow base.
In pieces.
In jars, like a freak scientist horror fucking movie.
Yeah, it is fucking
It's like
extremely,
straight Frankenstein bullshit.
Yeah, it is pretty fucking insane. Oops. Anyways, but if you want to listen to our other podcasts before we talk to this, you can go to GameRageMagazine.com. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine, Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag, YouTube, Game Rage Magazine.
Yes.
You can also go follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram. Go listen to the All Gas No Trash podcast. You can then also go to the Anime Syndicate podcast and listen to that, and follow at anime_syndicate_podcast.
Yeah, buddy.
Anyways, all right, man. Booba on this freaking ads.
Booba. Monkey.
Okay, so here we go. The Immortal Hulk, number 8. Man, I love this fucking text, man. Like this classic, like brick, fucking Hulk text. And we got
the Alex Ross cover. Fucking his organs all over the place, man. Dude. His heart. Shit's wicked,
and
man.
I like how they fucking had to label it like heart, head. Yeah, no shit, it's his fucking head. You can see inside there. Why do you need to fucking put a sticker on there?
Yeah, it's like Chef Carmy with this fucking tape. You like, fucking spinach, coriander, whatever the fuck.
Hulk liver, Hulk head.
Oh, yeah.
And so as we start off with every fucking episode, or every issue, a quote. Did he who made the lamb make thee? William Blake, the Tiger.
I want to read, dude.
Man.
Some of the quotes, I'm like, this motherfucker, Al Ewing, must be so well versed in literature.
Yeah, man.
Because some of the quotes he's been pulling out for the story and the story to revolve around the quote is fucking genius.
Like, how is he pulling this out of his ass, man? It's crazy.
I don't know, but this shit's... It's too good.
It is too good. Anyways, they're basically showing us, it opens up with them showing us how they're essentially going to cut a piece of the Hulk.
His heart.
Specifically, it's his heart, but this is how they're like going to dissect him. And they had an adamantium scalpel. It had a hydraulic arm that cost $7 million. And it was one of 4 that had ever been created. And what they're saying is it could bend titanium like paper. But with all that, it whined and fucking made noise and was very difficult as they tried to cut the Hulk's heart in half. And it said, when the heart was red, they'd extracted it with ease. But that was during the day. It's night now, and the night is his time.
Referring to the Hulk.
Yeah. And so basically they have the heart in two pieces, and they're just like, oh, yeah. Funny enough, it's a sliced supermarket cabbage. They're studying it. They're taking measurements. They're doing notes. And then they're like, oh, all right, man, let's fucking take it back with the rest of them. And basically they're describing like the place of like where somewhere along the corridor, just by the water cooler, right before the hamster run. That was when the heart began to beat. And it's in two pieces, like vibrating and like beating.
Yeah, this reminds me of the Telltale Heart with the fucking heart under the cover boards. And it's supposed to be, I think, like a tool or mechanism to talk about the murderer's guilt or something. Mm-hmm. And this feels akin to that the Hulk, these guys that are part of Shadow Base, they like, because the scientist that is going to do all the experiments, he's like, oh, I was just following orders and all this shit. And then he eventually...
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it. So then...
There's shit everywhere.
It's just fucking everywhere, man.
Hearts, kidneys, spine.
His brain.
His brain.
You see his fucking head, which is funny because like...
Actually, that's a kidney.
Oh, that's a kidney. Yeah, that's right. But they got his fucking head. They got 1 foot here. Like it's like they just chopped it at the ankle and they're like, oh, let's put it in a big ass jar. They got his spine out, man. Like Jesus Christ, they fucked him up.
And this scientist Clive, I think Dr. Clive is like, I don't know what the deal is with this. There's a reason behind how the human body works or how things work, and we're gonna find that out.
Yeah, we're gonna find out what's going on here.
What
fellas.
is the science behind the Hulk's body is what they're trying to get at.
Yeah, and then he's like, look, man, you're trying to talk, you ain't got no air in your lugs. He's like, aren't you a scientist? And then Hulk's finger, his hand flips him off.
It's cropped out.
Yeah,
it's fucking hilarious.
It's cropped out, but it was fucking hilarious. And then he's like, yes, Hulk, a little decorum, be civil, you fucking big green bastard.
The drawly green asshole, dude.
Yeah. And so they're talking about, we need to do some more tests. And he's like, this is a test, bitch. Like, this is the moment. Let's see what happens. And he takes up the two pieces of the beating heart and he puts them together and they start fucking like molding back together. And he's like, oh, good as new. Dead meat on the table, alive again. He's like, wow, when it's close to him, it heals and regenerates. Man, I have so many fucking questions about this. And she's asking him like, why isn't it full regeneration? And he's like, yeah, like, why doesn't a little baby Hulk fucking on a big Hulk head or some shit? Why doesn't he fucking like a little baby body come out? And then, how does that work? It's like a new Hulk coming from like, his foot would spawn another new Hulk out of it. So there'd be a new Hulk. I kind of thought that initially when I was like doing this. I was like, oh man, what if it's like just spawns? Like they cut him into 20 pieces. Oh shit, now you have 20 full fucking sized Hulks.
Yeah.
And then you're fucked. Like if that's the case, like the world will be destroyed. But anyways.
Not the case though.
Yeah, not the case. And so he's like, why this and not that? And he's like, is it a psionic link? Like, I don't know. Is it some kind of weird shit over cells? And he's like, nope, no psionic activity here. And they said, we took his hypothalamus was destroyed and he came back from that.
And they're also looking at the doctor dude that...
Yeah, the initial guy who's in that jar with like nuclear... He's like on nuclear fucking fire basically for the rest of eternity.
Yeah.
And then he's like, but like, that's the key. Like, how does he do it? Like, what's the science? Like, what's the rules? Like, we need to know what the rules are so we can, otherwise we can't break the rules if we don't know what the rules are. And I didn't even notice this. He's on one of those fucking little hoverboard things.
Yeah.
Like, that is fucking ridiculous. I did not notice that until fucking I got to this panel and I was like, wait a minute. He's on one of those stupid... Is this a fucking Zoomer scientist? When does this take place? Jesus Christ.
So now we're back at the Alpha Flight Station, and Captain Marvel's breaking the news. Like, all right, So we were able to capture the Hulk, not without some fucking collateral damage.
Yeah.
But we were able to seize the Hulk, but we don't know where the fuck he is. Like,
Yeah.
the government took him, or he's missing, and we don't know what the fuck is going on. So you need to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah. And so she's like, oh, the general who wanted us to do this, well, we can't find him. All of our requests for info are misfiled. All the contacts are fired or reassigned without any rhyme or reason that we had. Banner has basically vanished. And which is very true of the United States government. This is how they bury shit. And so she's like, well, did the US government lose the Hulk or did they kidnap him? Like, yeah, of course they fucking kidnapped him. And so the reporter is
Poor
like,
Jackie.
yeah, she's like, oh, and Colonel Danvers, I can quote that, but only as an anonymous source, right? Like, she's here listening to this whole thing. She's like, yep, it'll fortunately have to be. Off the record, Alpha Flight doesn't have the bandwidth for open war with the administration. Like, Alpha Flight gonna fight the U.S. government? Like,
And
I'm
lose.
sorry, you're gonna lose. Like, there's no fucking way you're gonna win that. Especially because the Avengers are basically on the U.S. government's fucking side for the most part. So you're just gonna get fucked 15 different ways from Sunday. So basically,
And she also is herself part of the U.S. government.
right, exactly. She's in the Air Force or whatever she was before. But yeah, she's like, fuck, man, like, let's give them some bad press. Like, maybe they'll get antsy in their pantsy, and maybe that'll make them fuck up or something. And then we can fucking find them or whatever. And so, what's his name?
Walter.
Yeah. What was his name before?
Walter Lankowski?
Yeah, no,
The Sasquatch?
The Sasquatch, yeah, that's right. And then he's saying, but he's got to be above ground though. Like, we can't fuck. Well, I mean, shit. If his gamma signature hasn't changed, but I mean, listen, obviously he's the Hulk, so even if it's changed, it's still gonna be a giant ass fucking gamma signature.
Yeah.
So he's going on to talk about how, like, they don't know what Banner is capable of. Like, they really have no fucking idea.
Especially with this version of the Hulk, which is like the Devil Hulk, as he's been dubbed.
Yeah. And he's basically saying, like, you can't predict what the fuck's gonna happen, what mutations are gonna occur, what crazy shit's gonna go down. It's impossible. You can't predict it. And so then old Captain Marvel's like, well, yeah, you're the expert. You know what to do. Like, fuck it. We'll cut your leave of absence short. You figure this out.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, wait, you want me to come back? Like, he's like, I don't got nothing, man. He's like, I'm not the Sasquatch anymore, bitch. And she's like, but you're a guy who knows shit and you have combat training, so.
Yeah, you know gamma radiation because you studied it yourself. You don't know it to the degree of Bruce Banner, but you also have combat training and you've been a gamma radiated monster yourself. So it's like you're as much an expert as fucking Bruce Banner at this point.
Yeah. And she basically says, like, oh, I'll have a fucking press conference later, but listen here, reporter, you can take this exclusive fucking line. My job is to protect the Earth, and with all these recent rumors about the U.S. losing the biggest threat to it,
The Hulk.
I'm creating a new task force. And it's going to be fucking headed by this guy, Dr. Lankowski, to find the threat. And then she's like, oh, cool. Did you come up with a name for this yet? And he's like, what else? They're calling it Gamma Flight. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
What else could you
Bullshit.
do?
Yeah, I know. That was pretty funny, though. It's a good little fucking joke there.
Yeah.
And so we go back to the, what was this, Shadow Base or whatever?
Yep.
And you got the head scientist over here talking about fucking... Oh, no, I don't. Listen, General, I don't think that's funny. This is the last, because the General's laughing about, haha, look at these assholes, Gamma Flight. And so he's like, hey, man, do we got any leverage on this fucking guy so we can force him to back off or what? And what's funny is, like, you're only getting the one side of the conversation, and it's like, no, sir, I'm not raising my voice. Like, I'm not yelling at you, but I don't know. Okay, I don't want to go back to prison, all right? Like, yeah, fine, I'll just do what you say. Okay, cucked by rank. And so basically, they're discussing now the press conference and saying basically, hey, listen, like, they put the spotlight on us and now we just have to go dark. Like,
They have to relocate.
Yep.
And just disappear more or less.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, no, man, this is going to take fucking days. And he's like, I know, man, this is going to suck. He's like, this has been a long night of work, and now we have to just stay and continue to fucking... We have to get the fuck out of here. And he's like, I'm going to go help you guys out, but as soon as I finish with this little puzzle here, And so then the Hulk is... I like how they have his head upside down, too. Like, what a dick move. You couldn't have at least put his head upright in there. And so the Hulk's like laughing at him. And he says, oh, man, your superhero buddies want to make life difficult. Difficult for you. He's like, this is just the beginning, man. You don't even know what's fucking coming in. We're going to ship all these pieces to all the other sites, and we're going to figure them out cell by cell. And maybe we'll take out one of your eyes. Maybe I'll pop it like a water balloon. I'll rip it out, see if it grows back. And then the Hulk is just like, ha, ha, ha. Like he's got that devil smile.
It's fucking Brock Lesnar when he was laughing, and then the Undertaker's laughing right back at him.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, we're going to do all this horrible shit to you. And he's like, what is so funny? And we're going to figure out who you are, make your weapon, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, wait, your heart beats. Yeah, we're going to figure out how your heart beats, how your fingers move, everything. And the Hulk is like fucking going to like snap his fingers is what it looks like. He's like, we're going to find out exactly what you can do. And then he goes like, oh no. And the Hulk's just like, he's like, fuck, you let us do this. You wanted us to test you. Oh my God. Because if we know what you can do, so do you. And then he just fucking snaps his fingers and he fucking breaks his hand out of the fucking glass. The glass jar. And then all hell breaks loose, and all of his things come out of the fucking break out through the glass jars.
It's such a cool like this whole page. I don't know if it's a splash page, but as you would read this, it'd be like landscape.
Yeah,
landscape portrait, or no, it'd be landscape. But yeah, dude, just his fucking body parts scattered all over the place, and it's trying to reconstitute. And then the next page right after, it's his fucking organs like getting back into the right place, and he's absorbing the fucking scientist. Yeah. This is like some fucking The Thing bullshit. That horror movie.
That is fucking crazy because he's like, no, man, please leave me alone, man. I was just kidding, man. I'm just doing what they told me to do. Oh my God. He's trying to hit the emergency button, and nope. This is crazy how they fucking the Hulk reconstitute while this guy's inside of him, man.
He's absorbing
like. That is fucking crazy as shit. And he absorbs them. And then he's like, oh, I'm sorry, please. And then the Hulk's like, not sorry enough, bitch. And he's like, oh, man, you wanted science? You wanted a set of rules? Big mistake. Science? That's the other guy. And so then this dude's arm is like hanging out of the Hulk's fucking chest. And it's just getting slowly absorbed. And he's like, when you hurt him, I take it fucking personal. And so then the lady scientist comes back and she's like, oh yeah, we're doing this and we're changing these over here. And she's like, what the fuck? And she opens it up and the whole room is destroyed and there's a giant hole in the fucking whatever the bottom of their facility.
Yep.
And so now they go back to Alpha Flight or Gamma Flight now up in their little space station. And so he's just saying like, well, he's either got to be in an underground facility or in a shielded facility, but trying to find this asshole's a needle in a haystack. I mean, we basically got lucky when we found in Minnesota and the neighboring states, and there he was in Iowa. Like, we just got lucky. So, and that took like a whole day, and he's like, there's no point in fucking doing all this bullshit. He could be literally anywhere. And he's like, well, I get it, buddy, but yeah, just let me know if you find anything. Just do your job, all right? So then, basically, Lankowski's like, we might be able to think of another way to do this. And then the reporter's like, what do you mean by we? And so, basically, he's like, yeah, listen, why don't you help us out here? Why don't you fucking do us a favor? You've been chasing him like, why don't you just be like a fucking embedded reporter and just fucking, you'll get the story and, you get to ask your stupid questions that you still want to ask them.
And they're more or less working together to get to the Hulk. And then we cut over to the Hulk, who's punching his way out of the fucking ground to freedom, away from the U.S. government and their shadow base. He's butt naked and with this massive fucking Hulk dong being covered by the exposition box.
Yeah. He's like, oh fuck. He's like, the sun's coming up, and he's like, the day is Banner's time, and then fucking that's when he starts fucking morphing.
Dude, it is fucked up, man.
It is, man.
It's a combination of the Hulk and fucking Bruce Banner, and it's like that old PSA for smoking.
Yeah,
when you would
like their face melts or whatever.
And they would have these people that were just turned into puddles. It's like somewhere between that and just body horror. It's fucking crazy.
It is. And so basically, Banner comes back and he says, man, he felt queasy. He felt like he was infected. There was a certainty in his gut that he had long held that the line was crossed, right? Hulk killed somebody. And he's like, man, I thought I heard my father's voice laughing from everywhere all at once. And then they look up at the cloud, and it's like that fucking, like his dad's fucking face, man. That's cool fucking imagery right there.
It is. Also persisting with the idea that, I don't know if it's the devil itself or Satan or maybe his father is like the personification of Satan.
Yeah.
But we're continuing to get that he's been infected with this like intangible thing from gamma radiation that he absorbed from other people. And now he's infected with this bullshit, and now he needs to find out what is provoking that.
Oh yeah, and then we get the little preview for the next covers issue, which looks like
Absorbing Man and the Hulk.
Yep, and they're getting down. So that was pretty good, man. These issues are continuing to do well. Or in my book, they're continuing to be sports entertaining.
Sports entertaining out of sports entertaining. I just hope that fucking Daredevil can eventually catch up, which we already know what the count is. It's like 10 or 11, so sooner we can get to that,
the better.
The fucking better, because right now the Hulk is leading for me right now.
Yeah, for me too. Hulk is in the top prime position. So anyways, all right, we got anything else to add?
No, I just, for this issue, we got to see the Hulk in a predicament that we thought, how is this motherfucker gonna get out? He was always in control.
Yeah.
And we get to see some crazy ass body horror, some Thing.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
The Thing, the movie, like some crazy bullshit like that. And I don't know. I think this fucking comic book does a good job of tackling or reintroducing like old horror elements from books and stories of the past. For me, it's like the Telltale Heart movie like The Thing. It just touches on all the fun elements of horror or the things that have been notable in the past, and it's a fucking good book all around.
It really is. So anyways, all right, well, that'll do it for us. If you want to see all this shit, you go to GameRageMagazine.com. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at GameRageMagazine, Twitter/X at GameRageMag. You can follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official. Follow Frank at anime_syndicate_podcast. Also, don't forget to go to YouTube where you can hear literally everything that we do, and you can, have a good time. So, anyways, that's the end of it. Fucking, I guess we'll catch you guys on the next one.
That was Panel to Panel, the Game Rage Magazine comic book podcast. Thanks for listening. If you want to know more and follow along, go to Instagram and TikTok. Follow at Game Rage Magazine. If you want to follow on Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. Tune in next time.